You know that the narcissist knows what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Jezebel knows what she's doing. Because she can be normal in crunch time. She can be normal when she needs to be normal. She can think normal, act normal, speak normal. But if she's trying to manipulate you, demasculate you, shut you down, mind game, she can act crazy. They know what they're doing. They know when they're gaslighting. They think it's fun, it's a sport, they think it's cool. My second wife, this is the craziest thing. We went to visit a church. We came back home. Her and the two kids. And so when we got back home, she said, I don't know where my Bible is. I lost my Bible. I think I dropped my Bible in the parking lot or somewhere. So we drove all the way back, and she had this weird look about her. And she said something to her oldest. It was just weird. She said, watch this. She was training her oldest daughter how to be a Jezebel, how to manipulate a man or person or whatever. Got back to the house. Couldn't find it, looked everywhere. She said, oh, here it is. Yeah, I didn't drop it. She knew she didn't drop it. She was just playing a game of some kind. She was playing some kind of game. But she was training her oldest how to be a Jezebel. Because the comment she made, she didn't think I'd understand or see it or catch it or whatever. I don't know why that just came to my mind, but that happened also another time where something to do with school, and she said something. She said, watch, once she had evidently told her daughter, watch, he'll go down to the school, because she told me something that they were doing down there, and I went down there to talk to them. They say stuff to provoke you to go talk to somebody. In other words, it's master manipulating. And then I called on to it, and I said, you know what, I'm not even going to respond to her anymore, because nothing she says is it. Even if it is the truth, she's trying to provoke a response, and half the stuff's not even true. And so it's a manipulation game, because she knew I was seeing through her. So once you see through them that they're full of it, then they start playing mind games, because you see them. It's hard to see them unless you're in the same house with them. Before you're married in the same house, living in the same house, it's hard to see it. But then once you do see it, you're always aware of it after that. You can't unsee it. You know what you're dealing with. And so they can only manipulate the men that love them, but they're not even real people. So the act that they're playing, you know, they find out, well, the man loves me when I act this way, so I'm going to act this way around him. I'm going to act a different way around other people. And so they become what they play act, you know. That's why when you're away from them long enough, they forget how they were acting around you. And so when you see them later on in divorce court, you're like, I don't even know that person. Who is that person? She wasn't even the same person. So they play act around you what they want you the character that they want you. They play act around you, the character that they need to be, that you loved or fell in love with. Somehow or another, they mimicked or became what you wanted. But everybody changes, so you grow, especially spiritually, you're going to grow and become a new creature, a new person. So as you grow, they stay stagnated in that low vibration Jerry Springer. And so you're growing, and you're like, this person's not growing spiritually, this person's getting worse, you know. They're either stagnated and stay the same, or they're getting worse. They don't grow. And it's like, if you notice, they change. That's why they don't want you to see them around other people. They change who they are around other people. They change their identity around other people. And it blows your mind when you see it. And if you've ever had a family member do that when you were younger, you saw it. And you wanted to get away from them because you didn't trust anybody who changed who they were around other people. Yeah, you might have to, when you're talking to a stranger, act a certain way, but I'm talking about actual people they know on a regular basis. They're putting on an act around different people. They're becoming a different person around different people. Why would they do that? People pleasing, try to become something that the other person likes. Or manipulate the other person because they don't have an identity. They're not secure in who they are. They have to change their identity depending on who they're around. And when you see it, when they're around their family, they're one way. When they're around other people, they're a different way. When you see it, you're like, this is sick. This is sick. Why don't they just stay the same no matter where they're at? And you realize you're dealing with a shapeshifter. And that shapeshifter will throw you under the bus because think about it. That's what they're doing. Avoiding any kind of rejection by shapeshifting to whoever they're around to be whoever they need to be. That's what they're doing. That's the whole game. Their whole game. Their whole life is shapeshifting. It's really kind of sad, I think. And for them to be a shapeshifter and rise up in a system or political or whatever, it has to be demonic, because how could you shapeshift and please everybody and rise up in a system and nobody call you out on it and not see it? You know, it has to be a demonic spirit if they're shapeshifting. Now, hopefully, there's political leaders out there that are just real, and they rise up because God called them to rise up, you know. But for a person to move away from shapeshifting narcissistic behavior to move to being consistent, normal behavior, that would take a miracle. A divine miracle where God Almighty had to save them and get them to be who they need to be all the time, be the same. It would be a miracle.